I think it's time, and it appears that we have the masses attending here, so I will ask the clerk to please call the roll. There you go.
Am I on? Okay. Trustee Gus? No, trustee, I'm still muted.
I see his name.
Yeah. That's
Richard,
it.
can you hear us?
Wow.
Oh, there's the Jim guy.
Uh-oh.
There he goes.
Oh, boy.
Richard's connecting to audio as we speak.
Oh, my.
Hey, Jim, Don Jensen was talking bad about you before you were out. So, you know.
Richard,
Mark.
Gus, can you hear us?
That's the last time I trust you, Mark.
Okay. We had a good run.
I'll check the recordings.
Well, I'll just go on. Trustee Jensen?
I'm here. Why aren't you on the blowflight? You should be doing this from the blowflight.
Trustee Miller? Here. Trustee Addison?
Here.
Trustee Siddick?
Here.
Trustee Wells?
Here. There he is.
I heard here.
Okay. Oh, I see the accent coming up. Okay. Attorney Ferrolo?
Here.
Mayor Hucker?
Here.
And Clerk McDonald is present. What about Trustee Gus? Is he?
It continues to say connecting to audio. Richard, can you hear us? You're muted.
Now he's muted. That's a good sign. He's got to figure out how to unmute it.
There
Yes.
you go.
Hey.
I hear Richard Gus.
All right, there it is. Okay.
All right. We got through that. We will all arise and participate in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sounds good.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag
Flag.
of the United States of
America.
and to the republic
Which stands
one
one
nation,
nation under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
liberty,
and justice
justice
for all.
Play ball.
All right. First item of business that we have tonight is the approval of the Village Board regular meeting minutes from July 9th, 2020. Do we have a motion to approve?
I give you that motion, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Jensen, second by Trustee Miller. Additions or corrections, discussion to the minutes? There being none, do we, would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gus?
Aye.
Trustee Jensen?
All right.
Trustee Miller?
Aye.
Trustee Addison?
Aye.
Trustee Siddick?
Aye.
Trustee Wells?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Next, we have approval of warrants, bills presented for payment in the amount of $119,021.29. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Oh, second Miller.
I heard a motion by Trustee Gus, a second by Trustee Miller. Discussion?
These expenses will be discussed in excruciating detail August 19th, if you're interested.
All right. And any other discussion? The clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Jensen?
All right.
Trustee Miller? Aye. Trustee Addison?
Aye.
Trustee Siddick?
Aye.
Trustee Wells?
Aye.
Trustee Gus?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we have nothing on the agenda for special business. Now would be the first opportunity for public comment on any agenda items. If there's any members of the public, we have none in-house. Looks like we may have one caller, or that may be Mark. Mark, are you dialed in as well?
No.
Okay. So we may have one guest on the line. All right, well, we'll have another opportunity at the end of the agenda if anyone would like to add comments. I I have nothing to add under the mayor's report. We'll move into trustee reports. First up, we have Trustee Gust. Have you got anything for us tonight?
No report tonight, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Trustee Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. As I hinted moments ago, our next Finance Committee meeting will be August 19th, 6 p.m. It'll be a virtual meeting unless some miracle happens in the meantime. At our July 15th meeting, all right, knock it off. At our July 15th meeting, we discussed, Peggy presented the latest forecast of revenue, the impacts of the COVID pandemic. And so far, we haven't seen any major impacts. We've seen some minor stuff. I got my fingers crossed. Well, it's still early, but so far we haven't seen any major impacts from this. The only other item of note on our agenda from the Finance Committee meeting was we reviewed some changes that the administration's recommended to the personnel handbook. And we've asked for a complete copy of it to read them in context. It was a little challenging to do that without having the whole document in hand as paper. So Mark's provided that to us, and we'll be reviewing that between now and 19th August, at which time we'll probably recommend the changes back to the board for consideration. And that's the end of my report.
Very good, thank you. Trustee Miller.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a little bit out of my normal purview, but I am part of the Public Works Committee, so I'd like to give a short update on some Public Works activities today that were taking place down the road from me. As we all know, there's short extensions that are part of the MFT project this year, and the tree removal company was out here 2 days, and in 2 days, they got all the trees down in both of the extension parts, and those were a lot of big trees. Today, they were back with a giant, some kind of a piece of equipment, just with like a big vise or something, and they were loading the trunks, the large pieces of the trunks onto a big lowboy truck. And it's very efficient. I think a lot of the neighbors were impressed. And then also our Public Works crew was working feverishly all day relocating a fire hydrant that apparently has to be set back a little bit more because of the wider turn that's going to be installed when the new roads go in. So I'm not sure if that part's completed, but it looked like practically everybody in Public Works was down there at one point. And I don't think Adrian's on the line, otherwise he might be able to add a little to it. And I just have one question, maybe Mark Huber could tell me, because I was asked, is Public Works going to take out the big stumps that are still remaining in the ground from these trees, or do we know, is the tree removal company coming back to do that?
Adrian is here, so he can answer that question.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Yes,
I didn't see him.
You gotta look at
Yes,
the little tiny box. Sorry.
Oh, the little tiny bucket.
I'm hiding. Yes, we did finish today with the hydrant, that hydrant back, and we'll be back tomorrow just to patch things up a little bit. There's still a little bit of dirt that needed to be put in the hole, but yes, we are complete with that part of the project. As far as the stumps, the contractor will be back to remove the stumps as well. That's part of the contract.
Oh, well, those guys came all the way from Lockport, Illinois, it looked like, from the trucks, and they seemed like they were very efficient, and all is going well thus far. So thanks to them, and thanks to Public Works for coordinating it all. Good.
Okay. Well, the first-hand perspective of Public Works activities in the neighborhood. Thank you for that. Moving on to Trustee Anderson.
I will save my comments for the ordinance section of this evening's entertainment. So thank you.
All right. Then Trustee Siddick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to point out, which probably is not a surprise, but the public safety report does have a high number of domestic violence. And I'm wondering what the sheriff's office is going to do to help us with our residents. I'm seeing that the numbers are very high considering everything that's going on with the virus and such. But the numbers are very high compared to past things that we're not used to seeing. So I'm just watching these numbers and watching the graphs here, and I'm hoping that the sheriff's office can do something to help or give us additional information that could help our residents, and perhaps additional pamphlets, whatever they can do to help our residents and educate. So I'm not real pleased about the numbers I'm seeing in here, but again, I'm not totally convinced that given everything that's going on with the unemployment rate and things going on. So do we, hopefully the sheriff's office can jump up and help us with, give us additional information.
Okay, we can certainly request some additional information. It's been kind of tough because we've lost a lot of our ongoing meetings and the like while we've been on the COVID break here. So the information flow is altered right now. I would say it's not that we don't have it, but it's certainly not as where we were face to face with them every month or two. So. But yeah, certainly I've noticed the same statistics. Domestic violence calls are certainly up. I'm sure glad that the Sheriff's Department is all CIT trained. The crisis intervention team training, I'm sure, is being put to good use these days. So. Okay.
Yep. And thank you. Good point you brought up that we haven't had these meetings, and I appreciate that. And hopefully we can, as soon as things pass, we're all able to get together again to just dissect some of these things.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you. That
Sure.
ends my report.
Thank you. Trustee Wells, have you got anything tonight?
No report, Your Honor.
All right, sir. All right. Item 8, Village and Administrator's Report. Have you got anything?
No report this evening,
All
Mayor.
right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. We have our consent agenda next. Consent agenda this meeting includes the finance report for June of 2020 and the public safety report for 2020. Both are included in your packet. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve, Miller.
Second, Gust.
Second by, motion by Trustee Miller, second by Trustee Gust. Any discussion? All right, there being none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, moving on then to ordinances and resolutions. I'd ask the clerk, what are the beginning ordinance and resolution numbers for tonight?
Ordinance will be 14 and the resolution will start at 25.
25, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, first up we have an ordinance amending Chapter 516 of Title 5, excuse me, the Beach Park Village Code to modify the number of liquor licenses. In your memo, you'll see that we only had one liquor license holder that did not renew. The Addison and Clark's location missed their deadline, and after multiple attempts to reach them, we finally got some communication. Our ordinance is fairly straightforward on this. If an application isn't received for renewal, then by the deadline, then the license is not renewed automatically, and the applicant must reapply. So per our ordinance, the Class A and Class B license that location held are now considered to be abandoned, and by ordinance they automatically reduce, but we want to make sure that we document that reduction first tonight. An ordinance to reduce Class A from 3 to 2 and Class B from 3 to 2. So do we have a motion to approve that ordinance?
moved.
Motion by Siddick.
Motion by trustee Siddick,
Second, Miller.
second by trustee Miller. Any discussion?
I have a question. Is that business still open at all?
No, not currently. There's some renovations going on, and they also had a flood, so their lower level was flooded. So they had to do some cleanup there and pumping and all the rest there. So they've got an ongoing situation there, and they do intend to reacquire the license. It's just where they're at right now. So
Oh, okay. But they cannot serve customers
no.
currently?
I mean, I guess, I don't know if their business license is up to date or not, but if they cannot serve alcohol.
Oh, okay.
For sure. They might be able to transact other business if their license, general business registration's up to date, but that's about it.
Because don't they have gaming machines in there?
No, they don't. Their gaming machines are tied to their liquor license. So
Oh, okay.
without that, they don't have gaming. And those have been turned off since the governor initially shut them down, and they
Okay.
haven't restarted yet for them.
Okay.
Other comments? All right.
Glad to hear it.
Okay. Ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
trustee Siddick,
Aye.
trustee Wells,
Aye.
trustee Gus,
Aye.
trustee Jensen,
Aye.
trustee Miller.
Bye.
All right, motion carries. Next up, we have an ordinance for a budget amendment, and that will go to trustee Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. Right, this is an annual balancing amendment to bring the budget in line with expenditures that we've approved as a body through the course of the year. So I would like to offer an ordinance approving a budget amendment for the 2019-20 budget year. If you look at the packet items, the major adjustments are for paying off the general obligation bonds, which we of course agreed to do. The track loader that we bought was a little bit over budget, as was the dump truck. So those are the major adjustments. There's nothing new here. It's just to bring the budget in line with the expenditures that we've already approved.
All right, so we have a motion by trustee Jensen.
Second, Miller.
All right, for housekeeping, I neglected to say the previous ordinance that was approved was 14, so this one, assuming its passage, will be 15. Discussion? All right, would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Siddick,
Aye.
trustee Wells,
Aye.
trustee Gus,
Aye.
trustee Jensen,
Aye.
trustee Miller,
Aye.
trustee Addison.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next item is a resolution authorizing the dissolution of the Beach Park Drainage District, and trustee Addison's going to enlighten us there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, this was discussed, well, it's been discussed for quite some time, but we've finally gotten together with the county and with the city of Waukegan, and everybody's in agreement. I understand, I personally haven't had any conversations with the drainage district members, but I understand that they are also in favor of this. And so let it not be said that Beach Park is not participating in the lowering of the annual tax bills for a good portion of our residents. If this goes through and Waukegan agrees and the county finalizes it, the people in the drainage district will be paying $3 per year less than they have been since they've owned their homes. So not a significant number, but it's something. And the amount of money that's in their coffers at this time will be split up accordingly based on between us and Waukegan and the county based on the number of properties in the district. I don't remember the exact, is it like 58?
Roughly.
$58,000, and about 75% of that will come to the village, but then there will no longer be this $3 tax charged in the future. So I will make a motion that we adopt a resolution authorizing the dissolution of the Beach Park Drainage District.
We have a motion by trustee Otterson,
Second, Miller.
second by trustee Miller. Any discussion?
I have a question for the administrator. Mark, do we know what Waukegan's timetable is? Are they going to be on this right away, or?
Yeah, I don't know the exact date, but they're enacting it in the near future too. We're working on a joint press release between Waukegan, Lake County, and Village of Beach Park. And they've been participating in completing it also, but it'll probably come out in the next few days after we approve here or after the county approves. So.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Well, I just my comments on this is certainly this district was a duplication of effort. There was certainly a time prior to the incorporation of the village that this district did quite a bit of good work in the village, maintaining Bull Creek and improving some of the neighborhoods to certainly improve the quality of life. That being said, since the incorporation of the village, we've kind of worked in tandem with the district and tried to partner where possible, but we ended up with a lot of tension. One had one priority and the other had a different priority, and so it was always a little bit of a challenge. Different engineers, different boards trying to make decisions. So we just saw it was time, and Beach Park is responsible for everything within our boundaries, and this overlay of an additional drainage district seemed to be unnecessary. And so I'm happy to see it going, and not for lack of the good that it had done over the years, but I think it was time. So any other discussion before we vote? All right, would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
All right.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. That is resolution number 25.
Okay. Oh.
Go ahead.
All right, the next item that you have there is an intergovernmental agreement that's going to be signed between the Village of Beach Park and the Beach Park Fire Protection District. This was discussed quite a bit at our Public Works Committee meeting. The staff has been working with the fire district on this. They've approached us to be able to have some of our Public Works employees that do the mechanical work on our equipment perform some of the routine maintenance on some of their equipment. There were quite a few concerns brought up about whether or not we had time to add this, or whether our guys were certified, and whether there would be any liability if there was a breakdown of a vehicle. And that's all covered in the agreement. There is a list of eligible vehicles that will be worked on by the Beach Park staff, and that's going to be worked out. But I don't believe there's going to be anything other than routine maintenance, oil changes and things like that done. And there is, they will be paying us on a time and material basis, so it'll be saving them money, not having to go through a local mechanic or whoever they've been using in the past. But I think the agreement covers most of the concerns that the members of the committee had, and we're going to just take the recommendation from the staff that this is going to work well. There's also an out if the drainage district, or if the fire district doesn't like the agreement, or if we don't, for any reason, there is an out clause in the agreement that we can discontinue it rather quickly. So I think we were comfortable with passing this along to the board. So I will make I will make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the intergovernmental agreement between Beach Park and the Beach Park Fire District for vehicle maintenance.
I will second it.
We have a motion by trustee Addison, second by trustee Gust. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have one question, and maybe I missed it here in the agreement, but where is this work on the fire district's vehicles going to take place? In our garage or in theirs?
Ours.
in our Public Works facility.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the vehicle lifts that can lift the big.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, we lost your audio.
Oh.
I think he was going to say we have the lifts that would raise the, be able to lift the large equipment that they have. And our mechanics obviously want to be near their tools, et cetera. So,
Yeah, okay.
all right.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. I just didn't see it in here anymore.
Any other discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Trustee West,
Aye.
Trustee Jensen,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
Trustee Siddick,
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Motion carries. All right. And last but not least, Administrator Huber has one for us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What you have now is a resolution for consideration to authorize an intergovernmental agreement between the Village Beach Park and the County of Lake for disbursement of the CARES Act funds. The CARES Act was authorized by Congress, and they distributed funds to Lake County due to its population, and they will be distributing those funds to the municipalities within Lake County. This intergovernmental agreement was requested by Lake County so we can submit any of our expenses to them for reimbursement. Our COVID-related expenses are approximately $13,000 now. This agreement and the CARES Act would go till the end of December 30th, 2020, and any expenses related to that at this point. But the intergovernmental agreement is to authorize reimbursement. We can place the first request on July 31st. So they will distribute funds as long as they have the funds. And so we want an opportunity to go ahead and get the reimbursement for what we have already expended at this point. So we would need a motion to authorize that resolution approving the intergovernmental agreement with Lake County for COVID-19 relief.
All right.
I'll give you that motion, Mayor.
We have a
I will
motion by
second it.
Johnson, second by Trustee Gust. Discussion.
Yeah, I got a
Just
question.
a quick question for the administrator by Trustee Siddick. How much of the funds that we already have out? Do we know that?
I don't know that I understand the question, but we've expended about $13,000 of unbudgeted funds for COVID-related expenses. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I have a similar question for you, Mark. The extraordinary cleaning that we did in conjunction with the primary election, is that part of that 13?
Yes, it is. It's
Okay.
just a little over $7,000. We may
Right.
do.
I knew it was a big number, so I want to make sure that was in there.
Yeah, we are eligible for approximately $200,000 based on our population if we were to expend those type of funds. So, again, this goes until December 30th. There's rumors that they're also increasing that amount that municipalities could be eligible to receive with the allocation that Lake County is currently received. But again, to answer your question, yeah, it was just over $7,000 would be an eligible expense, and that's part of the 13 that we've already incurred to date. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question now. So you just said that based on our population, we are entitled to a not to exceed $200,000 reimbursement. Is that right?
we would potentially be authorized. I don't know if entitled is the right word, only because if they run out of money due to others that have submitted expenses up to that point prior to us, incurring any of those expenses, then we would not be receiving it. But if we had those expenses and it was available, potentially we could receive that amount. Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So we would have to have some qualifying expenses.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the
Okay.
advantages of being a well-run and efficient and tight crew is that we have a fairly low employee headcount compared to some other communities that may have departments with larger staffs, police and fire in addition. And even at the same population, their costs might have been significantly higher than ours because of what they provide. Whereas in our situation, the fire districts and the sheriff's department bore the brunt of their COVID-related expenses, and I assume that they will recoup wherever they can. So, yeah, I certainly hope that we can get at least back what we had out of pocket. So, any other
I doubt that our expenses for audio, video, visual equipment for the remote meetings would be potential.
Certainly COVID-related, but that's a great question.
There is some, but this was budgeted, and that's the discussion. If it's got to be non-budgeted, so.
All budget.
Yeah, at the
About that
county.
budget amendment, did you need to adjust anything on that, Trustee Jensen?
We could remove the audio visual equipment. Yeah.
Well, so that brings up another question though, actually. When we do come back to the boardroom, are there going to have to be any type of modifications made to the board table that would be COVID related?
May well be. And we have time on this, but again, it's going to relate to how long the money lasts. So,
Okay.
yeah, we've discussed some of the things, whether we put partitions and make every one of us feel like a bank teller or how we deal with it. But we're going to have to do something eventually. This is all nice to have this technology, but yeah.
Oh, and we had to do modifications to our upper level, right? To our ground level?
Yeah, we've got, yep, that's some of it, yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, any other discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gust,
Aye.
Trustee Jensen,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
Trustee Siddick,
Hi.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. We have no items of unfinished business before us tonight, and I am not aware of any new business. Does anyone on the board have new business that we need to hear?
Mayor, there's one item I'd like to bring the attention of the board members, if you haven't already heard. Sunday, there was reported assault in Lions Woods on the bicycle trail. And apparently it was not only a physical assault, an attempted sexual assault, robbery, stole property from the lady. And the frustration I've expressed to our administrator and also our county board member, that really didn't hit the press. It's been kept very quiet by the Forest Reserve Police. And it's kind of frustrating. I've seen a lot of information, rumors on some of the social media, and there hasn't been a lot of authoritative information. It's been held very, very tightly. The administrator can elaborate on the response that he got. And basically, they said, well, it's an ongoing investigation. We can't tell you much. The public.
Oh my gosh! What happened?
The public
I
needs
didn't
to
even
know.
hear about this.
There you go. The public needs to know these things.
Yes.
Now, if the rumors are wrong, it needs to be dispelled. But if it's true,
No, they're not wrong. In fact, I know kind of secondhand, my neighbor's, it's his ex-girlfriend who was assaulted.
Oh
And-
my God!
Yeah, and it happened on Sunday, and we were out on our bikes in Waukegan, and we saw a deputy go flying through Waukegan headed towards Lions Wood. I mean, I have never seen a car go that fast through a residential neighborhood, and I'm sure that's where he was headed because he went up towards Blanchard. And you know, we're in there almost every day, and there are tons of additional women walking in there by themselves this year who I'm sure have no idea that this happened. I think it's terrible that they're not releasing information about it.
and
This
know,
is terrible. Oh
I don't know
my
how
God.
professional the Forest Reserve Police Department is. I suspect it's not on par with the county or any of the municipal departments. And it's very frustrating, as I've expressed over the years with the sheriff too. A lot of these things happen and they're not shared with the public when they should be.
This is a public safety issue, I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
And
And,
I
Mr. Mark
I
Hubert,
emailed Mark Paxton, expressing my dissatisfaction with the situation. I'd encourage others to do that as well. I don't know what influence he might have on that department, but certainly they need to know that the public's not happy with the fact that they're keeping information like this. It should be shared. You know, we've got friends and relatives.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I said my piece.
Administrator Huber, do you know anything about this?
Yes, we put out, when Trustee Jensen actually pointed out that he had heard something on one of the social media apps and forwarded it to me. And so we put something out on Facebook immediately. And what I put out on Facebook is what we received from the Forest Preserve, which was just that they responded to the report and the attack at that time. Trustee Jensen asked if there was any additional information that the Forest Preserve could share. And as he indicated, their response was they have no additional information to share. There's an ongoing investigation at this time, and just provided safety tips, which were pretty generic in nature that we had already said when we had sent out our Facebook post on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
Oh
tell
my
you
God, to
something.
me,
The
this is
Forest
so disturbing.
The Forest Preserve used to have a Forest Preserve, I don't know if they're police or what they are, they're guards of some kind, security guards maybe, walking through the woods later in the day. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. But at the very least, the public has to know about something like this.
Yeah. Well, I would
Yes, they
recommend
do.
anyone that is has concerns in this area, your county board members are also the Forest Preserve Board.
Oh,
They are one and the same. So if you have contact with one of the county board members or more than one of the county board members, certainly express that displeasure straight to them. This is under the jurisdiction of the County Forest Preserve as well as the Forest Preserve Police. And that's where it stops. It's not City of Waukegan Police or Lake County Sheriff's Department or anything else. Apparently, it just falls under their domain. So I certainly think an outbound message to your county board reps would be appropriate to let them know your feelings on this.
okay.
And thank you, but I do have another comment about this because I didn't know anything about this. Nobody heard anything about this. This is new to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's the same thing as the bike trail. You know, at least when things were happening on the bike trail, the Sheriff's Department was reporting on that.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are with the Forest Preserve incident, which I'm very disturbed about this. This is very disturbing to find out.
Well, I'm looking on
I don't know.
the village's Facebook page, and I see it was shared on Monday, the day after it happened. So I think the administrator and the village, we did our part to get the word out.
Okay, but I didn't get an email about this, so I didn't know anything about this until this was just mentioned.
Yeah,
So if that was Monday and Thursday, I'm not on social media.
The last communications we got on this from the Forest Preserve and our back and forth were yesterday. And as we are saying here, social media is a very one-dimensional communication tool, and when it comes to the only people that get it are the people that get it. We did not have many other ways to get it out to the public, but Trustee Siddick's point, I guess, is that as a trustee, she did not receive direct notification.
Nothing.
And so we'll certainly take note of that and see if we can improve our outbound communications. Again, this was brought to our attention by one of our trustees. So the communications on this are bad all the way around. This part of the Forest Preserve District, Forest Preserve is not in Beach Park. It's adjacent to Beach Park. Doesn't fall within our boundaries, falls within the boundaries of the City of Waukegan and under the domain of the Forest Preserve. But it is important for us to know, and many of our residents do go through that section of the Lions Woods. So it's important.
Well, especially now with so many people off of work.
Yep.
There are families with a lot of little kids, but this was a pretty aggressive assault from what I was told. This girl was on a bicycle and she was jumped and knocked off her bike. And she just happened to be feisty enough to try to fight and ran away, and then found some other walkers who called 911 because the assault,
Oh my God.
the person who jumped her took her phone and took her bike.
Oh my God.
So, okay.
Oh my God.
Is there anything else that any of the board members would like to bring up under new business?
I pray that that family and that lady is okay after that assault.
He was banged up. All right, now is the time for citizens wishing to address the board about any and all topics. Any citizen that would address the board, I ask that you would unmute yourself and then state your name and your case. All right, lacking any activity there. We have no cause for executive session tonight. We're down to item number 16.
Mayor, I'd be honored to offer a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Trustee Jensen,
Second by Mr. Gust.
second by Trustee Gust. Do we have any discussion?
Just
Roll
stay
call,
safe, fellas and gals. Most
Would
important.
the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gust,
Aye.
Trustee Jensen,
Aye.
Trustee Miller,
Aye.
Trustee Addison,
Aye.
Trustee Siddick,
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all for your indulgence and your time. We'll see you soon.
Bet, stay
Nice.
safe.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.